CG Market Watch.
Not easy, right? It's not as easy as it looks. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of CG Market Watch. Today we're bringing you news from around the world, all things that are crypto related, and hopefully you enjoy it. So first thing that we have is blockchain capital partner Spencer Bogart. He's saying Bitcoin prices might still fall. So basically in this article, he's talking about last year, in 2017, a lot of people bought into crypto and they had their funds locked up for a year as part of the investment. So this year we're approaching the time when the lockup period is over and they can start releasing their coins and selling it out for profit. And he feels that a lot of these people will be taking their money out and re-entering the market at a cheaper price because prices now are really, really shitty. Thanks Ryan for the cheap prices.
With that being said, right, I do not believe that most of these funds at the moment that are being run, they're going to completely exit the fund. What they're probably going to do is to stay invested because you're actually realizing the gains. I mean, sorry, you're realizing the losses. So I don't feel that that would be the way that any kind of proper fund would manage themselves because every fund, right, will be managed in such a way that there will be a 2% management fee or at least some kind of management fee. So although they're going to probably forego their bonuses, right, because there probably isn't any at the end of the year, there will not be a complete liquidation. So I think this part is a little bit over exaggerated. Yes, I believe that there are a lot of funds that were created during the summer of 2017. I agree with that. And yes, it is coming to a year. But I think most funds, especially, why would you have a 1 year time frame only when you know that cryptocurrencies is so volatile?
But if I bought in at this last year, this time,
Summer,
I would still be making profit now.
that's right, exactly.
So
You're
I
actually
could
up.
take out my profits.
You could, but you're not going to reduce the assets under management.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to take out the profits, and yes, you can realize it in fiat or BTC, but you don't have to exit the whole fund. What we are concerned about is that people will be liquidating everything and going back to fiat. See, that's what the ICO projects are doing, by the way.
Well, the other thing is we have to take in consideration is when did they enter the fund, right? Even though the fund started in summer, they could actually buy in maybe in November or December when the price started picking up, and there were more media attention.
Unless there's an
right?
NAV, unless there's a net asset value attached to the fund, that means these funds, right, will always be accepting new money. Okay, so there is an NAV price, and as the fund and as the market prices, as the market price goes up, so too does the NAV price. So yes, later investors will definitely be in a loss, especially if they bought during the run-up leading up to December, and then after the massive crash in January. This is definitely the people who will be suffering the most. But I think all in all, right, if the investors are managed properly, I don't see that this will be an issue.
You don't see it as an issue?
I don't see it as an issue.
So do you see it as positive news, negative news, or neutral news?
I would say it's pretty neutral because it depends on how the asset managers or the fund managers are keeping their clients informed about the long-term play of cryptocurrencies. Just my opinion.
I think the other thing we need to talk about is the fund sizes. Now there's 100 to 300 funds, right? Some could be 1 million to 3 million. It doesn't even make an impact. And you also understand that since the mining and hash rate things are controlled by China, these funds are not really in China per se, right? They're mainly in the US, in Eurozone perhaps. So will it really have a big impact on Bitcoin's prices? That's something we need to think about as well. Right, and whether there's shorting, whether there's hedging, whether it will affect futures. There's so many moving parts here, I feel.
So the consensus from both of you is neutral news, yes?
Yeah.
I would say it's neutral.
The blockchain
More bullish than neutral.
The consensus.
Yeah, the consensus, yeah.
We're always bullish on it.
Okay, so the next one coming up is Ant Financial, previously known as Alipay. So it's a subsidiary of Alibaba. Recently, they managed to do a remittance from Hong Kong to Philippines in 3 seconds.
Is it via blockchain, right?
It is via blockchain,
Right.
yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it.
But then it's probably a privatized blockchain or permission blockchain, right? Because Jack Ma has always mentioned that he is not into the speculative aspect of the cryptocurrencies, but he's very big on the blockchain technology.
You sound just like him.
Yeah, so no, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, look
Just
at
as
it.
English,
Look at all the current smart contract protocols. You know that they are focusing on the enterprise aspect.
Yes.
Okay. In terms of when they've already raised their money via the ICOs, they do not. Okay. Yes, the community matters, but however, in terms of the actual currency itself, it is not the main key concern. It is actually the development and catering to the SMEs, enterprise who are interested to bring their business to the blockchain. So this is what actually Alibaba is doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Since they already are having Alipay, which is one of the biggest payment channels, payment gateways in China, right? It makes sense for him to be working on it. I'm not surprised at all.
Like I feel personally, coming from M Financial, coming from Alibaba themselves, which is really, really credible, and Jack Ma, who's a real visionary. We are seeing mainstream people coming in. We are seeing a real fund development just to invest in blockchain, expansion of it, the technology itself. Yeah. I think this is good. Like, this is very welcoming for the blockchain technologies, and therefore we understand that cryptocurrencies will be here to stay. In that sense, right? Because all the different companies are looking.
You mean blockchain technology?
Yeah, blockchain technology is here to stay, but cryptocurrency
because
is still
cryptocurrency,
question,
right? You see, in terms of Alipay, it's already considered a digital transfer.
Yeah,
it's already a digital transfer. Cryptocurrency is just like this new hype that comes about ever since 2017. Prior to that, I mean, you're just basically transferring money. Like me transferring money to you right now. It's digital anyway.
They're focusing on their remittance right now.
Correct.
Which is normally
in the Philippines, by
high
the way.
fees.
No, which is a very good usage, right?
Yeah.
And therefore the banks
does
scared.
let you have lower fees.
Yep.
It does, and but the thing is, they are building it in the Philippines, and once they have successfully established this network, it's going to go global. And it's a two-pronged thing. You're seeing the large enterprises, for example, that are coming in. You're looking at the Microsoft, you're looking at the banks, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all coming into this space, and they are spending billions in the blockchain technology and the digital ledger technology. It's really crazy. But you notice that, unfortunately, for the cryptocurrency market, the speculative market, that is not so much of a concern. So it's going to be very, very challenging, especially for people who are stepping into this space, who only know how to buy and sell the tokens. That means from a speculative point, it's going to be extremely challenging. That's just how it is.
So at the start, when I told you about this 3-second transfer, you asked, is it centralized?
Yes, it's definitely centralized.
So my question is, does it matter if it's centralized? If I'm able to use it with no fees?
I feel that it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because ultimately it's more about the use case. That's how I feel. Because you see, like right now, even if we're buying all these cryptocurrencies, but can we truly say that we can really use them on their respective platforms? Arguably, no. I don't see for the fact that I can safely say that I can buy something, purchase an item. There's a merchant marketplace for me to spend my quantums or my Neo. I can't even do that if I'm not even a developer. I am not fully utilizing the token as the way it should be. That is the sad thing.
All right. Well, anyway, he's saying that he's trying to help those like 1.7 people who are still unbanked. So whether or not the place is centralized, I think it doesn't matter as long as it's helping them, right? Because now they can get funds from overseas. So if they have relatives or anything working overseas, they can get the funds easily without having to go through a bank because they don't have a bank account. Yeah, that's for the Alipay one. Right. So next time we go to top venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz is doubling down on crypto. Even as Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies struggle to find footing this year. So basically, this is a fund. It started in about 2013. So they made their first purchase into Coinbase in cryptocurrency. They still haven't sold any, according to them. And now they're saying that they're even putting in more money in the fund. So 300 million, they've raised it.
Now this is big news.
This is big news?
This is bullish, right? Because you're seeing for the fact that the bigger players, right, are of course the ones who have always been bullish. Like this is no different from Mike Novogratz. You're seeing him very, very bullish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So this is very specific. This would definitely be a positive, direct positive. Yes. But however, how the fund is being managed, I think is very important that we identify, is it going to be a US dollar only fund that is going to be pegged to cryptocurrencies, or the funds that are going to be collected by Andreessen Horowitz, is that this is going to be directly put into cryptocurrency. So we have to observe what is the language or what's the mandate of that fund. But all in all, 300 million is a sizable sum.
Sizable sum.
Definitely.
Even in this market right now.
Oh, of course, 300 million.
I mean,
But it's not all at once. They are going
It's
over
not all,
it,
it's over time, of course, because you still have to have a dollar cost averaging strategy. I think that's what CG has always emphasized. We want to make sure that it is going to be throughout a certain period, because we don't know how long this bear market is going to be. We have to make sure that people are not going to go all in as per se every time when they see a low, because the current low can always be going lower. That's the problem.
Now, the other thing is, remember a few days ago, 250 million worth of Tether was transferred.
Yes.
Yeah, so 300, and it was sizable enough to move the market slightly.
Yes, it did.
And so 300 million over time could potentially move the market as well. And it's all about a hype factor sometimes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Does it make you feel safer in the technology that these big players are moving in?
It's
Remember, these are the people who bought into Skype, sold it for 8.5 billion.
So the
They bought into
question here is: are they in tune with the technology? Do they like the technology, or are they just looking at VCs in terms of profit? Right. That's my
They
question.
are known as super early angel investors or just early angel investors
for
the
profit.
tech scene.
For the tech scene.
For
right.
the tech scene, yeah.
Okay.
So when they look at the project, they think that it's going to go far, then they tend to invest in it.
Right.
And they have been making money for many years.
Right.
So this is bullish news. Yes?
Yeah,
Yes, it is
Bullish news.
Yep.
Alright, so the last one we go into is India and their regulations on cryptocurrency. So according to them, they're going to have a regulation out by early July, like first 2 weeks of July, the first half. So India, as we all know, has been a bit strict on cryptocurrencies in the past. People
Yes.
have been unable to cash
Yep.
out. Yeah. So with this upcoming news, what do you think was going to happen?
I think more or less they're going to iron out the framework, the taxation. Okay, so it's going to be no different from what we experience in Korea and Japan, right? Because as long as a country has the ability to earn from its citizens, especially with a new asset class like this, or there's a way of taxing the merchants, or at least having some oversight about the money flow, I don't see why this is going to be an issue. I think overall, as every country gradually defines their own regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies, they should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is we are looking at G20 summit, right? Their conference is coming next month, and they're going to have discussion on the regulatory framework, whether cryptocurrencies could be funding money laundering or terrorists, right? So that's the main
AML
concern.
KYC.
Yeah, AML KYC, right? So I think if India was part of the meeting and there's a consensus worldwide in that sense, that regulation actually bring confidence to the mainstream investors or the big time investors,
Institutional
VCs
money.
even. And that's why you see more news coming out about all this development. I think it's really, really good news, but you can only kind of see that bullishness medium to long term, right? It won't come so short term, like 1 month, 2 months. It will take some time, but once it's developed, the framework is there, boom, down.
So it doesn't matter if they recognize it as a currency, but as long as it's recognized as an asset or store of value and they're able to tap into it, you think it's fine?
They will never recognize it as a currency. Look, if you have your own state currency and you consider yourself as one of the major players in terms of globally, right? You're contributing healthily to the GDP, the overall GDP. You will never say that you will never allow another external currency to take over. It's just bad branding, right?
Yep.
So I think for as long as they allow it to flow within the country, and at the same time there's some kind of surveillance mechanism, or at least a surveillance framework, then it will be great for India, because I think cryptocurrencies is always about financial inclusion, right? And I think at the end of the day, especially, India has a large concentration of people in tech. They are developers. In fact, there are blockchain schools in Goa, as far as I understand. So right now, they're already preparing for the next leg, right? You could actually see a huge leapfrog, right, for the whole financial system, or in terms of any kind of technology related to blockchain, just because that there is this freedom of play once the governments allow this to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so of the 4 news we've had today, you're bullish on 3 of them, and
Yes.
one of them is neutral.
Yes.
So how come the markets aren't moving in that direction?
Okay, so like we have discussed before, I personally feel that there is a little bit of a downplay due to the fact that the exchanges are being hacked. ICO projects are in fact cashing out because they are very worried that they cannot sustain their developmental costs. their hiring costs, their operational costs. This is a real concern. So in fact, they are also suppressing the prices. I think EOS has been hedging, being that they raised like what, 4 billion.
Yep.
I'm not even sure whether they're still running their ICO. It's just insane. And they are obviously hedging big time. Okay. And it ended. Oh wow, thank you. Finally you ended. Right. So after that, not only that, you have the very large players in the blockchain space, in the cryptocurrency space, like Charlie Lee, you have Vitalik, all selling off their major tokens. They're selling off their tokens, right? So they're all anticipating a bigger play, a free flow of money. And I think this exchange of money is healthy. Right now, the prices are extremely attractive. You're talking about 40-50% discount. So if you're not buying now, I'm not sure when are you buying.
Yep. Like
always bullish.
Two things. One, US dollar is appreciating the value. Secondly, World Cup fever. That's it. That's volume. Simple.
Yeah. You want to draw the link for the World Cup fever?
No, it's fine. All right, I think that's all the time.
So that's all the time that we have today for CG Market Watch. So if you would like to see more news about your favorite cryptocurrency and news, feel free to click in the links below. Like, comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to click on the notification. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.